robust urban garlic flavor doesn't come today, or what if it ends up showing up so late there's no time to build it? There's nothing I can do, right? It's out of my control. Obviously, that's not ideal, and I hope that they do live up to their promise and they deliver it today, but I don't know what else to say about it, and I don't control it, so it is what it is. That means that I'd have 2 days off, and then next week when I come back, then I'd have to do it, because that's the thing. Like, I don't have time on my days off to be in the office building the desk. I've got all these commitments, appointments. I got spending time with my wife. I'm not going to be in here working on my days off. When I come back on, whatever, Saturday, that's when we'll have to do it, and we'll have to do it together. Okay, so I hope, ideally, everything shows up. We could do it all together today. Maybe we'll get some gameplay in of Arc Raiders, which would be fun. We'll have to see. All right? So that's what's going on with it right now. I wish that I could give you more concrete information. I can't, because it's all hinging on the delivery of this dang desk. Okay? Now, in addition to all of that going on, I do have some bad news.
Yeah, so here I was thinking Darkside Phil was going to take 2 days off, but in reality, he only took 1 day off because he did something smart. Instead of his usual garbage gameplay videos, he uploaded a walkthrough of his new studio or setup or whatever you want to call it, which is the videos he should be producing, or like the 15-minute segments on his podcast, but he is too stupid to do that all the time. Because in his case, the ad revenue shouldn't really matter. It should be about getting people to his live streams, and the on-demand playthroughs do not do that.
Well, what is going on, everyone? DSP here with a very special video.
This is the third video in the past 2 weeks that he has named Special Update.
Normally, I wouldn't do anything like this. It's my day off. In fact, I'm in the midst of 2 days off. But seeing how absolutely chaotic yesterday was, with my new studio setup, and the fact that I did not get half done what I really wanted to do in the time that I had due to the delivery timing of my new desk and everything going on, I wanted to do a special video today to show you now how things are working and how things will look moving forward. Of course, keep in mind, this is just an early peek. When I come back on Saturday, from my couple of days off.
Oh, my 220. Already, he is rambling and being completely boring. Nobody cares, Phil. Not even the people who paid thousands of dollars for it even care.
Everything that I needed to basically start doing the new level of content that I wanted to do has arrived.
New level of content. Yeah, you got a couple more monitors, Phil. Big deal. The only thing you could say is that it may encourage him to do more PC gaming.
It was a nightmare. All right. So rather than talk about the things that went wrong, I'd like to tell you about the things that went right, what's now working, and how my content will now improve as a result of it. Then I'd like to talk about the stuff that didn't go right that I still need to work on. All right. So number one, the first thing you may notice is that my microphone is down here at an angle to my face that most people put their microphones at. Because previously my microphone was always up here and downward, and this kind of microphone, the way you're supposed to use it is to talk downward into it at an angle like this. It's supposed to pick up your voice better.
Okay, let's try it. Does it sound better now?
So to be honest, I could even go a little bit closer with this microphone, and the closer I get, arguably, the better it's supposed to sound.
What? No way. You were only told that months ago.
Can we talk about your microphone setup too as well?
Who cares about my microphone setup? What are you talking about?
Because you've given me a lot of flack about this microphone setup, but this is actually technically the correct way. It ties
in front of me. I have 8 months of private conversations with the casino, exposing them for their idiotic attitudes, the things that they said to insult people that will get them in hot water. We've got all kinds of... You want to talk about my microphone?
Yeah, because you go on these stupid things where you say, nah, and then later on, you slowly realize, oh, this is the case. Like here. And let's be real, those stupid DMs would have been boring because you wouldn't be able to answer questions. You would be like, And to prove it, they were so boring, once he kicked Review Tech off, he went through them in the most boring way possible that nobody cares about.
Who gives? But the point is that you're disingenuous, Phil. First off, you're not using your... Hold on 1 second. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Actually, I need a sip of my luscious drink here. you're using your dynamic microphone right now like a shotgun mic. Actually, if you watch PPP, he also has a dynamic microphone like you and I have. If you watch other podcasters, this is how you're supposed to have the mic. It's also supposed to be very close to your mouth because dynamic microphones mitigate how much audio is around the room.
I know. I'm well aware of this, Rich. I can do it too.
But you're not, though, because I'm looking at you right now on screen.
Because I don't want the mic up my... When I do my podcast, Rich, it still sounds good and I don't have to suck the mic.
So, no, it doesn't. Your mic actually sounds worse than your previous mic. Many people have said it. You're using your mic wrong, and I feel like you're using your mic wrong just out of pride to get back at me and other people that are telling you that Phil, put the mic, get a different stand, put it so it's here near your mouth, and you don't have to have these 8 billion different filters in OBS that makes it sound like you sound like you're going through puberty again. Your voice sounded significantly fuller and better before. You know, and who cares about the mic stand in and of itself? It just shows, Phil, how you're disingenuous and why I can't believe you about this whole master plan.
The mic is what shows
Yes.
I'm disingenuous. And that's why you can't believe the evidence I'm about to show you.
Yes. Also, we could go into too when you got that mini PC. When you just make up facts
Folks,
off the top of your
Folks,
head.
if anything, all right, let it be said. I tried to get Rich involved in this because I thought he would add something. I thought he'd be interested in what I've done here. But I guess he's more interested in
I'm
arguing
interested. I'm
little
interested.
idiosyncrasies of nonsense. This is what he thinks is entertaining to the internet.
No,
This is amazing.
It's not idiosyncrasies. It's not idiosyncrasies. Phil, what about? Can I ask a question? Now, that mic stand that boom arm that you got, you realize I actually found it. I have it right here. You spent how many hours and you ended up breaking the boom arm, right? Why do you make your audience do your work for you instead of you looking up? It's a Shure Broadcast 1 mic. Hold on, don't say folks yet. Don't say folks yet. There's a 1:30 mic video. Why couldn't you look that up instead of having a multi-hour stream where your audience's time, you have to understand, is valuable? Like, I got a flash cart that I found in a drawer. I had to find new firmware for it. Not going to get... Point being is that I looked into things myself, looked it up myself. I didn't fire up a stream and say, hey guys, watch me be a dumb and look how to make this flash cart work. These all tie into why anyone with a modest intelligence is not going to be like, man, Phil was getting the one up on them. Because you... What? Yes, please talk to me, Phil.
For a decade, you had a channel called Review Tech USA.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last 5 minutes that you have wasted of everyone's time, you have reviewed more tech than you did in your entire decade on your own channel.
Okay, but that still doesn't take away from what I'm saying right now.
You are the master of bad timing and how to make things that are exciting incredibly boring. Good God, man.
How dare you point out that Phil is pretty stupid and doesn't know what he's doing, and he demands his chat handhold him all the time, especially when playing video games of all things. How dare you? Guess what Phil did when he was building his stupid chair this week? He was ranting about there not being a manual included because they didn't want to waste the paper, so he had to go look it up. And of course he didn't look it up because he's a grandpa.
And the thing is, if I'm doing a podcast, this sounds good, and it doesn't matter if it blocks the shot. Like, what is it blocking? My shoulder? No big deal. Really, where my concern was doing a microphone setup like this was when I was doing gameplay, okay?
Which people care more about audio than anything else, Phil.
The good news is, I think we've kind of got the perfect solution now because I now have this desk situation, and this, microphone boom arm can now really be utilized very well to maneuver the microphone around the desk, as I'll show you in a moment, which will be a live adjustment right now. Is to basically have the brightness go way down. I just did it. There you go. So you see how very minor it looks now?
Wow, big things are happening here, folks, at DSP Gaming Studios.
So immediate changes already that are going to look better, right?
Wow.
So I don't know. Do you guys, I'd love feedback on this. Do you think the microphone sounds better right now? I listened back to my daily rap last night and I didn't see any difference, but maybe it's just me. Last night was a crazy night where everything went wrong, but with the microphone now in position, does it sound better than it used to when it was up here at an angle? I'd like your feedback, okay? The trade-off here is if the microphone is here, that means it's going to be in the shot all the time, and you just got to get used to that. When I'm doing DSP tries it, I'll be able to move it out of the way while I eat and then maybe move it back. It's fully maneuverable now because it's hearing grabbable and adjustable. It always was, just it didn't really work with my old set. Now it works because I have a real desk to attach it to.
Yeah, he attached it to like a TV tray or something. Like, what's going on here? You've been streaming for how long in that office?
Okay, so that's improvement number one. Also, just to show you, with this new setup now, I have excellent maneuverability. For example, check this out. Let me actually just mark this as my default spacing. Watch this. I can go all the way down here, and you can now see my whole torso. You can see the floor. That's the edge of my monitor now. So you can actually see the edge of the ultra wide there. And, you know, this thing goes all over the place. Here, if I click this, it just defaults back to where I was. But I can go in all different directions to show you, you know, hey, look, there's my monitor. There's my gaming monitor right there. And you can see it to the side of me. Well, maybe you won't because this is working now. Hold on. I think I accidentally unplugged and replugged it, and it reset the settings. Maybe I have to do it. Okay. Let's see if it's working now. Ah. I think you're seeing a small change. Kinda cool, huh? So the only catch is it's slow. All right, what I want to show you now is how face cam is going to work for gameplay, because this is going to be a little different, okay? That's not begging, you imbecile. The only thing you see is me and the microphone, and it's an actual upper torso shot instead of that weird angle I used to have that had like my forehead and everything in it. Now it looks pretty good.
Wow, as someone who has watched zero of Phil's tens of thousands of gameplay videos in its entirety, I can say this is completely pointless. If he's gonna put himself in a corner or the side like he usually does, his face should be larger.
QD OLED monitor that I bought.
With your money.
And I'm getting better at it. I've only done it for a day, and already I have a window where I have, like, I can read my emails, so I can unban people on the fly if need be, or if someone sends me something urgent, I can read it.
Mainly reading PayPal tips and, hey, Phil, I thought you told Gold you don't over-moderate or ban people. Why are you mentioning here that you constantly get emails to get unbanned? What? Sounds like you do moderate.
It's all right here on the ultra wide. And I really like this. I feel like I said, I'm in like a command center here, where basically I have control over everything I'm doing, which is absolutely amazing. Previously, I felt like it was just like the most bootleg setup, and now I'm feeling way, way more professional with the way that I'm doing things here.
Phil, it doesn't matter if you're streaming out of a cardboard box with cars honking at you constantly or at a mansion where there's a sound isolation room. It won't make your streams professional or interesting.
And it's just really awesome to feel like I have this professional studio setup now that I never had before.
Yeah, he racked up over hundreds of thousands in credit card debt. I think it was like 400,000 plus, but don't quote me on that. And somehow it never occurred to him, hey, maybe I should spend some money on upgrading my studio setup, because it would have been a drop in the bucket compared to what he had.
Now, ultimately, what's going to happen is I'm going to find more and more stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure over time we're going to figure out better things for the setup. Already I can tell you, like, the chair mat's in the wrong spot. It's too far forward. I'm gonna have to pull that back, you know. there's going to be improvements over time. We're going to figure out other things that I can use and stuff.
Wow, Phil, you can chalk this up under things your audience doesn't care about. They don't care where the freaking chair mat is. Are you just so stupid and unsure of yourself that you have to make sure your audience tells you what to do with everything?
Okay, that's amazing. I love this. Okay, really, like just to have a thing that feels real and professional. And also, I absolutely ordered the right size of desk. This desk fits absolutely perfectly where it is. And I can get in and out from behind here.
That looks pretty narrow there, Phil. I wonder what's going to happen when you're live. Maybe you'll just bump everything and the table will collapse.
Because now I have the much better setup. I used to have a light on the other side of the room behind my TV. Now it's right there in front of me on the floor. Okay?
He's probably going to eventually complain about the lights causing him to go blind.
But, and this is a big but, not everything went according to plan and some stuff is not working and or is in process. Allow me to explain. So first off, what happened last night, the reason why I was so stressed out on that late stream, the monitor arms, all right? I'm going to be honest, the instructions are horrible. They don't fully explain how to use them. One thing I couldn't figure out was how to adjust the height on this monitor arm over here. I just couldn't seem to get it to adjust up and down for whatever reason. It was insanely tight. What they don't tell you is that you have to put the monitor on the arm first for it to properly adjust, and then, even then, it doesn't really make sense. Let me show you what I mean. So, if I go like this, it easily goes up, no problem. But when I go like this, it actually fights me a bit, okay? And I think I still need to adjust it more. There is a Allen wrench adjustment on the back of that monitor arm. This is the Bank Ergo monitor arm. It's tightest, and it feels like you're not supposed to be adjusting it. Like, it actually feels like, oh, you're doing it too much. But that's how it is. Now, they don't explain that in the instructions because the instructions don't even have any words. It's just like diagrams, okay? So you have to really keep turning it to the right, and then you can adjust it up and down. I couldn't figure that out last night because there's nowhere in the instructions does it explain it. Nowhere in any videos online does it explain it either. From Bank or other companies, no one explains it. So I had to figure that out on my own. Now it works, okay? So I'm happy I got it working. I might even adjust it more to try to make it looser going up and down.
So I had to figure that out on my own. Now it works, okay? But the one bummer here is my plan was that when I was gaming, all right, what I wanted to do was I wanted to have my gaming monitor right here, and this monitor, I wanted to be able to maneuver it up at an angle, so I would move my microphone a little bit to the right, and I wanted this monitor to be higher up and to the right, like say right here, so now I could see the chat and the game at the same time. Like, honestly, that was some of the whole point of it.
So you don't want to focus on one thing. Okay, Phil. You're better off just putting like an extension where you put the chat on screen. And you don't even have to do it where it's like OBS, where your fans will see the chat, but you see it when you're on gameplay. So then you can react because it's also on the same screen.
Because right now when I'm gaming, what I end up doing is this. Playing the game, looking at the chat. Playing at the game, looking at the chat. Playing at the game, looking at the chat. Looking at the up. You see? And it kind of like, you know, people even used to say, oh, that's going to hurt your neck. Well, the good news, it never did. I've been doing this now for a long time this way. It hasn't hurt my neck. But it's a problem when I miss stuff. I can't talk to you guys immediately. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, I get frustrated sometimes. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do this big upgrade. Now it doesn't work. It just so happens I had to buy the one monitor that doesn't work with the mount that I chose. Just my luck. Okay.
Wow, Phil, it sounds like you need to make more research into your purchases. You probably should have chatted with somebody or went to an actual store when you were buying this instead of asking your chat, hey, which one works?
But it is frustrating that I spent all this money on these upgrades and now this monitor is stuck right here, which wasn't my intention. Now, the other thing right now that's going to be my major bane of my existence is cable management. To get into the office, I have to be sure that the monitor arm is pushed in, or else it smacks me right in the face when I come in the door. The only way that I can get in and out of this setup is behind the desk here, which is why you may notice there's no stand here anymore. My YouTube play button isn't here anymore. Yeah, I can't put it there. If I put it there, I literally cannot get in and out of the desk. So that's gone for good, and there's nothing I can do about that. As you can see, I temporarily put something cute here that I put at the end of the desk, but there's not a lot of room here. So I just can't do things with my setup with the background like I used to. Now, for the maneuverability and the use and the content I'm making, quite frankly, I think it's going to be better to have the new setup than the old. But it does suck that you have to lose something. So I can't do anything right here, right now. I don't even know what I would do to fix that situation. There's just no room. When I'm crossing into my studio now from the door, there's a bunch of wires coming off my monitor. All right, just to show you. You can't really see them because of the way that I've done it, but there's 3 wires coming out of this monitor. There's the HDMI, there's the power, and there's the headphone jack to go to the speakers. So I have audio. And there's nothing I can really do about those. They're going to be dangling no matter what. One goes to the left to my PC, One is going across the room to the speakers.
You know, DSP really is an idiot. He bought all these stuff without doing any single research, and now he's paying for it because, oh, it doesn't fit in my office. Wow, good planning, Phil. You all show us how successful you really are.
Wires kind of like in the way here, and there's nothing I can really do about that. Yeah, so I have to redo all the wire management in my office here. I'm not going to be doing that today. I'm actually on the middle of 2 days off here, about to spend time with my wife. I'm just doing this quickly, a quick video as an update, but basically things will work and things will be a lot better, but this is not the final form. Like, I still have tweaking to do and things to improve as a result of this upgrade.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about update videos. You rarely ever need to make them. It's better to just not. But here's Phil. He has to show off all his shiny new bells and whistles that he thinks people are going to go gaga over. But the reality is, if the content is still boring, it doesn't matter how it's improved or not improved. But he will never understand that. And you know, obviously, I understand you can spend 1 hour working and then hang out with your wife the rest of your 2 days off. I'm just ragging on Phil because I know he makes a huge deal. Oh, I can't stream for 3 hours when my wife is aware that I have a day off or something stupid like that. It's just odd how he presents things, but hey, he's gotten thousands of views on this video, so maybe he should cue in. He should do stuff like this instead of just upload raw gameplay segments. Have fun tripling over all those wires, Phil. This is Robust turning off the station. Thanks for watching. See you all next time.
Robust content. That's right. It is robust. I am legend.